Hey guys, welcome to Simply Chris. And today we're going to be doing what we do every day, reacting to this crazy world. Today I got a video on why Generation Z is struggling in the workforce. Let's get into it.
Graduates are crossing the stage ready to take on the workforce.
Or are they? A recent study found 3 in 4 companies are having issues with recent graduates whom they hired. Some of the reasons they listed, well, a lack of motivation, a lack of initiative, a lack of professionalism, poor organizational skills, poor communication skills, difficulty working as a team.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to go over a few of these. One, you got lack of motivation. You know, a lot of these kids come in and kids these days don't really have I ain't gonna say, well, nobody has, like going to a new job, you really don't have experience. But going in, like when I was growing up, like I worked with my granddad and different things like that before I ever got into a real job. So I had some kind of work ethic. And a lot of these kids grew up on cell phones, playing on computers, video games. So they really didn't do too much outside of just doing those things that I just mentioned. Lack of initiative and motivation. I mean, it just depends on the person, but a lot of people know that one, inflation is high as hell, and they're going in already. Let's just say you start a job at like 17 an hour, and you're a young adult, and unless you're staying with your parents, that's really not going to get you anywhere. So I don't really see the real motivation. And as far as professionalism goes, again, it depends on the individual. Some things you have to just learn through experience. Like you just don't go in being like, "Oh, this is how a professional act," because I didn't read the professional handbook on being a professional. So anyway, I just wanted to add my little 2 cents right there.
Other than that, they're doing great.
Yikes, that's a pretty long list, Jim. CBS News Miami's Trish Christakis is live on FIU campus where graduations are taking place right now. Trish.
Yeah, you guys, and some graduates are receiving their degrees, some also with a job in hand, those lucky ones. Now, this is a day about celebrating their accomplishment. Now, it also comes with a lot of expectations. So we wanted to know how some of these graduates feel about their work ethic being questioned.
Sometimes employers think that your group, your class, your generation does not know how to handle the workforce.
Inside this room at Florida International University's Student Academic Success Center, Clotilde Picard-Layer leads a session preparing students for life in the real world.
So I'm going to pretend that I'm the employer.
A world where more employers believe Gen Z, people born between the late 1990s and early 2010s, aren't prepared enough for the demands of the working world. The study by online educational magazine Intelligent.com found 65% of hiring managers found recent college graduates to be entitled. 63% believe they get offended too easily, and more than half think they lack work ethic.
Wait a minute. I got to pause. Y'all just gonna get. I have to do this every so often. A lot of times I let the video play, but when what I'm saying, something it just got to be done. So there are a lot of entitled people that come in and just feel like one, they deserve the job. They don't have to prove anything. Like I, even at the company that I work for, they come in, like I said, they're just, oh man, I gotta do nothing. I ain't gotta do that much. I don't get paid enough for this. Things like that. They don't really feel like they need to work hard. You know what I'm saying, to impress anybody. It's like, oh, I deserve this job just because I showed up. And Gen Z is one of the most offended generations that the unfortunate of knowing. They are easily offended. Oh, sir, it's ma'am. Oh, my bad, player. Whatever. And on top of just lacking work ethic, again, they're not motivated. Again, a lot of them grow up on cell phones and stuff like that. So that's just one of those deals. But there are a lot of entitled people out there in the world. Lots of 'em.
So we started by asking these graduating students how they define the term.
Like values of excellence, values of leadership, values of character. Work ethic is the expectation that you hold on yourself as to how you deliver your work.
They expect flexibility, growth opportunity, and the resources to succeed. They also say there is no clock that can determine someone's work ethic.
I don't believe that working long hours or holidays makes you have more work ethic than others. It's rather than the results that you deliver to your employer and learning how to manage your own time.
I think that we shouldn't just be guided by our job and like our work, but we should be also guided on like, okay, what is my like life aspect?
For any place that you work for, having like people who are like who provide like a good value to your life, and they provide like a good environment where there's diversity, like you're comfortable.
And while they are focused on balance, 21% of hiring managers questioned by Intelligent.com say recent college graduates can't manage the workload.
Just go like, I quit, you know what? Or I'm taking the day.
But FIU Executive Director over Integrated Partnerships and Career Readiness, Ruth Pacheco, says she's not seen that in students at FIU.
They're driven. They are full of energy. They're looking for opportunity.
What she does see is students who ask a lot of questions, and she said sometimes that can be misunderstood.
I do see that our students in this generation does like to ask a lot of questions, and I think that sometimes that may be seen as some level of entitlement.
Pacheco says employers see a lot of enthusiasm at campus career fairs.
I see a student that's more intentional about understanding what are the values that employers have, which is something that we did not see before.
Now, Pacheco says the idea that younger generations don't work as hard as the previous one isn't a new perspective. She says successful employers build talent pipelines through internships, shadow programs, and campus workshops. Now, she finds that helps everyone in the long run. Reporting in West Miami-Dade, Trish Christakis, CBS News, Miami.
And Trish, while you're still there, Naja and I believe we've solved this issue. We think that more kids need to have part-time jobs as teenagers so they'll be ready when they're young adults.
Yeah, and that's what your source just said.
You never know.
Okay, so let me get my 2 cents. Again, a lot of this depends on what you're going into. But from what they said at the end, should they have part-time jobs? That's what I was saying earlier in the video, that like I said, I had some kind of previous experience before I ever got like a real job. So I knew kind of what to expect. I knew how I worked. I knew kind of what I wanted to accomplish. And, far as Generation Z goes, it's just one of those deals. I don't know. From what I've seen, like I said, they come in, they really don't want, because a lot of them, it's hard for them to get off their phones. Like they don't really. And okay, what I'm trying to say is, coming from the place I work, because I'm in construction, so my construction background may be different those in like office settings and different things like that. Because when you come in like a construction type setting, people are looking for you to perform. Like, if it's labor or whatever your trade or craft may be, we're looking for you to be, what I'm saying, if not very skilled, or at least willing to learn. And from what I've seen from my past experience, is a lot of them just kind of come in and just want to get by. Want to get paid and just kind of go home. But again, you talk about work-life balance. I mean, most people only work like 8 hours a day, so it's not like you're missing a whole lot. I mean, depending on if you're on first shift, second shift, third shift, now that can affect your work-life balance. But just far as you just being on first shift working a regular job for like 8 to 9 hours a day, it shouldn't affect your work-life balance. You should be able to manage. But I think the problem that comes in is the pay. Like, when they say work-life balance, I should get paid enough at this job to be able to live. That is, I think, the biggest problem plaguing a lot of people these days is, let's say they come in, they there a few months, and now, you know what I'm saying, months done went by and they like, oh man, this job just ain't doing it. Who's gonna be motivated after that? I'm not. Like if I'm coming in making $18 an hour, and let's just say after 6, 7 months, I get like a little decent raise. You know, now when I say decent raise, let's just say I'm making 18, I go to 1875. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Then another 6 months go by. You know what I'm saying? I get another 50 cents. And I'm still just struggling to go through life. It's just hard. Anyway, let's go through some of these comments. Uh, these kids are questioning everything because they watched the last 2 generations get overworked, underpaid, and underappreciated. I kind of don't blame them. Yeah, I gotta like that one. This one has a lot of likes. I'm 25. The manager of my job hired me on and said I'd get a raise after 6 months if I worked hard. Well, I did the job, communicated with the company, and was given high regards. 6 months come and no review. Kept getting told soon. 3 months later, I finally get the review, and they say I get a 6% raise. Flash forward another month, I get a 2% raise. I asked HR what's up, and they said they just don't give that high of a raise. See what I mean? 6% is really not a lot at all. Here's another one with a lot of reviews. As a millennial, my first employer after college had me working 7 days a week, provided no form of training for engaging with clients or any of the work I was expected to do, and lied to me about how much time I would have to spend traveling out of state during the interview process. If Generation Z workers are pushing back against these kind of working environments, I 100% support them. Yeah, also as an employer, you gotta be realistic with the people you're trying to hire. Like, look, it's gonna be a lot of work, a lot of traveling. If you want to sign up for it, we appreciate it. If you don't, hey, I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate your interest, and let them go on about their life. Let's check out a couple more of these comments. Let's see. This one has a good bit. Generation X here. This sounds like a broken record. I remember hearing the same things about millennial when they were entering the workforce. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Please leave your comments and your thoughts down below, and catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.